Hey, people, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to make a quick and easy beginner Sprite deck for all you guys who are maybe returning to the game now with the 4th anniversary, or maybe just want to give Sprite a chance because it's been giving out for free as part of the campaign code. If you haven't received your Sprite deck yet, comment down below your campaign code, and I want you guys to sort of follow and share with each other, and so that you guys can all get this full ass Sprite deck. Other than that though, maybe let guys know it once you've got all the cards. Besides that, let's get into the Sprite deck. I'm going to go down card by card, telling you the combos I like to use with them and why I have them in my deck. Without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, first of all, this is pure Sprite for the most part. This is sort of combined with Toads and some Sea Serpents. Outside of that though, there's obviously this engine goes into quite a lot. You can use this for like live twins or something like that. Runic is a very popular one, but besides that, I'm just going over like basic Sprite, just Sprite by itself for the most part. All these cards are mainly from the deck that you get for free from the campaign, with a few staples. Obviously you can sort of choose which staples you want to use, but generally you should be trying to build these staples anyway if you're a beginner player and you don't have these cards already. First card up is Deep Sea Diva. You can use this as one of your normal summons, which you are sort of wanting a normal summon every turn and you want to make as most value out of it as possible. When this is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from your deck. You can use this to target itself, so you can special summon 2, and you can use this for your link 2s and your rank 2s. Another card that I like to include is Click and Echo. This is another level 2 Sea Serpent. Cannot be used for Fusion, Synchro, or XYZ summon. Cannot be tributed while face up in the monster zone. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a link summon, special summon this card to your opponent's side of the field. So as you can see here, these two top lines, this is very hard to get off the field. It can't be tribute summoned, it can't be fusioned, it can't be synchroed or XYZ summoned. So it basically blocks one of your opponent's monster zones, but also it reveals their entire hand whilst it's on the field. So this is a lot of effects, as you can see here, and a lot of people will just sack immediately when they see that their hands are revealed, or they might not notice. But this guy here goes well with EMP and Click and Echo. So EMP Meow Mai. If a link summon monster is on the field, you can special summon them. Basically, also when this is used, once you do some link summoning, you can use this to return Click and Echo to your hand if you want to reuse it or fill back up your hand with some more gas. So these all sort of go into each other. These are all sort of a combo in and of themselves. Next, we're going to go into Swap Frog. Good staple. As you can see in my deck, there are quite a lot of water monsters. So quite a lot of targets for Swap Frog, and there could be more if you are feeling it. But you can special summon this card by discarding one other water monster. So any water monster, doesn't need Aqua or Sea Serpent. So we've got both those in our deck. When this card is summoned, you can send one level 2 or lower water Aqua monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can also use this to return it so you can get another normal summon for another frog, which is also quite cool. But our main target for this discard of a water monster is Nimble Angler here. So when this is sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon another 2 level 3 or lower Nimble monsters. And those are Nimble Beaver. So you get 2 of these guys out on the field, which helps us make our rank 2s and our link 2s, which is awesome. There's another way that we can send monsters to the grave, and that's Sprite Spin. This is one of our link 2s that when we link summon this, that lets us discard one of our monsters that we can use to target Nimble Angler. So this all goes together, And another target for discarding is Ronin Toadin here. So when Ronin Toadin and Swap Frog are both in the graveyard, you can send one of your Swap Frogs to the Banish Zone to then special summon Ronin Tonin from the graveyard. So that can allow you to be another +1. Maxi, I don't really need to explain much, but an important part of Maxi is a level 2, and you can use it for all of your Link summoning, your XYZ summoning, and stuff like that. And you might see like a pattern here. This deck is all about rank 2s, Link 2s, etc. So we'll get into the extra deck at a certain point. But as you know, we've went through Nimble Angler and stuff like that. We know what it does. But if we normal summon this and we used it as like, you know, Link material, we get the effect. And if we use this guy, we normal summon it, we can then special summon another Nimble Beaver, which easily gets us another Link 2 or rank 2. This one here, Iperia, once we normal summon it, allows us to draw 1 card, which obviously is just really good. You know, we want to make the most of our normal summons, but also when you special summon it using one of our card effects, we can draw 1 card as well. Only once per turn, you know, it's only hard once per turn, but either way you summon it, very good for you. Now to get into the meat and potatoes of Sprite in general. So Sprite has this main effect of if you control a level 2 or a rank 2 monster, that includes Link monsters, XYZ monsters, etc., or any of our level 2s, which is why it's so important that we get our level 2s on the field, allows us to special summon any Sprite monsters. So basically, if we have those Link 2s from any of these monsters that I've mentioned previously, or we have our rank 2s, or we just have one of these on the field, we can special summon Sprite Blue and we can start rocking. And what Sprite Blue does when it comes onto the field this way, it allows us to search another Sprite monster and add it to our hand. And because they can all special summon, basically when they're added to our hand, they can basically just go onto the field immediately. We usually use Sprite Blue to target basically Jet. Jet is one of our main targets, and this is our search for our spells and our traps. So Sprite Jet, yeah, when it's special summoned to the field, we can use that to search up one of our Sprite spell cards, and we'll go through our Sprite spell cards right now. So Sprite Starter is a very interesting card. If we pull it in our, like, before our draw phase, basically, in like turn 2, if our opponent has Droll, we can use this to special summon Sprite Blue, and then we can use that to get Sprite Jet or another card into our hand without being affected by Droll. This also allows us to special summon a monster onto our field so we can start special summoning our other sprites. This could be really good for working through a lot of the hand traps in the formula, etc., which are quite popular. Our Sprite Gamma Burst, this is how we sort of win the game. We use this to increase all of our level 2 monsters attack and defense by 1400. And it also has this effect that once it's in the graveyard, we can activate it and give one of our cards 1400 temporarily. This is what we use to sort of win the game. So we get a bunch of Sprite monsters on the field, and we remove a bunch of monsters using our effects, and then we sort of steamroll them with that 1400. And that 1400 actually goes a long way, and I'll go on into how we utilize that 1400, but it is a lot when you think about it, okay? But yeah, this is why we have this in our deck, and we also have Sprite Smashers. So this is like an ultimate slayer. This is a very powerful removal. Basically, we banish one of our sprites from our graveyard, and then we can banish one of our level 2s, rank 2s, or link 2s to banish one of their powerful boss monsters. So this basically makes us go -1 for potentially removing one of our biggest threats on the field. And once we have a Sprite in the graveyard, we can use any of our level 2s. We get a lot of level 2s on the field already using our various abilities, as we all know. So yeah, this is a very good card. I wouldn't mind like just carrying at least one of them. It does come in handy sometimes. Double Cross is a great card for going first. It allows us to attach one of our opponent's monsters to our rank 2s, or take control of one of the monsters that our opponent summons, which our link 2s point to. Or special summoning one of our opponent's monsters to our side of the field. This is really good to sort of go first. There's a lot of like winning more situations with Spright Double Cross. I would only really like search for it once you've really got a great end board already set up. But anyway, a great card. I like to carry at least one of them. Moving on to Spright Red, which is one of the more powerful cards of the Spright deck. It allows us to basically negate any of our opponent monsters' abilities once per turn by sacrificing one of our level 2 or rank 2 or link 2 monsters. If it is a rank 2 or a link 2, we get to destroy that monster. So if it's a powerful boss monster that the opponent has summoned, we can destroy it using Spright Red. Spright Carrot is basically the same thing, but with spell cards. So we can use this to negate a spell card and it can go to the graveyard. Or if it's a continuous spell, we can sacrifice one of our link 2s or rank 2s to destroy that continuous spell card or field spell, etc. Very good cards. I like to keep at least one in my deck, and I like to sort of float them back up using some of our link 2's abilities, which I'll get into shortly. Ash Blossom. I'm just carrying Ash Blossom because it's a really generally good staple. This one could be replaced. I'm not going to be like shy in saying that. It doesn't have tremendous synergy with the deck. It's level 3. But obviously it's just another one of those very good universal negates that go into any deck. So if you have Ash Blossom, it's good filler. RP's Feather Duster, just a really powerful board breaker that just never gets old. You don't have to use this. You can use a hand trap or something else, or another board breaker of your choice. Called by the Grave. Just another very powerful universal card. Another one that you can replace with anything that's a universal staple or more level 2s or rank 2s or whatever. You could replace this with more carrots or reds or etc. Nobleman of Crossout Designator. This allows us to negate max C when it's used against us. This also can be used on Ash because we have Ash in our team. And yeah, just a normal, very good card. You could replace, like I've used 3 Ash, but you could put like an Effect Veiler or something like that to do the same extent. Or an Infinite Impermanence, so you could just use this to universally disable all those cards. Only one per deck. Forbidden Droplet is a card that has surprising synergy with our deck as a whole. So Forbidden Droplet lets us send some of our cards from the hand or the field to the graveyard and then completely negate our opponent's monsters' abilities as well as half their attack. This is like a super infinite impermanence. And the reason why this card is so good is we like discarding cards to the graveyard, right? We really like discarding cards to the graveyard so that we can summon more. So this is one of those rare situations where a board breaker can actually end up making us plus. So I like to run 3 Forbidden Droplets. Now we've already went over our spell cards, so it's now time to get into our extra deck. So Sky Cavalry Centuria, he cannot be destroyed by battle, so he is very hard to get off the field. If he has a battle with anyone, he can return a monster to the hand if he didn't destroy it. He has a high chance of destroying it though because we have Gambit Burst. So we add 1400 to his attack, and that basically means that he has 3400 and he has that removal. So there's a chance that you won't even take damage if he doesn't beat anything. Mannequin Cat is a very powerful card as well with 2000 attack. Remember the Gamma Burst, that goes up to 3400. When it's on the field, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon one of that same element from your deck, graveyard, or hand. This is very good because a lot of people use a lot of dark monsters, which allow us to special summon Sprite Blue on their turn, and that allows us to basically have more fodder for Sprite Red, or Sprite Carrot, or anything else. Like if they summon an Earth, we get Hyperia out. There's a lot of ways this can sort of manifest. So yeah, it's a very powerful card. Ani Bimaru, the Soul Sweeper. He's basically a sort of like an XYZ SP Little Knight, if you are familiar with that card. He allows you to basically banish someone's card till the end phase, which allows us to sort of remove a powerful boss monster. Another big element is he does have, I don't know if it's a he or she though, but they do have a very high attack with a 1900. Combine that with the Gamma Burst that goes up to a very high amount. Basically, yeah, so this is just like a very powerful SP Little Knight. You can basically also return a lot of your monsters to your deck that have been banished. That's a very niche thing that sometimes comes up. It's not super relevant. Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite is the boss monster of the deck. So this monster is a floodgate, a search, and also your main beat stick. So the way that this works is basically if you use a link monster to special summon this monster, its attack doubles to 3200. And then you use the Gamma Burst, and as you know, that goes up to 4600. So this guy becomes very, very, very powerful with that combination. Also, when you detach a material from Gigantic Sprite, you can special summon a level 2 monster from your deck. This is a Searcher. You can use this to special summon, for instance, Sprite Blue. If you didn't draw any Sprite cards in your opening hand, use it to summon Hyperia. You can use it to summon a variety of targets, namely Carrot or Red as well, if you didn't actually pull them. And yeah, another thing is basically neither you or your opponent can special summon monsters outside of level 2s, rank 2s, or link 2s for the rest of the turn. So this is a very powerful floodgate. And if you get this out early, your opponent can't actually Nibiru you. So even though this deck requires a lot on special summons, it has this sort of Nibiru workaround that's very effective. And yeah, it's a very powerful card. So this guy is the second win condition of Sprite in general. So cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no damage from battle. Alright? When you attack a monster, right, you put this hallucination counter on it. And you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one monster with a hallucination token. So basically, you use this to get around a very powerful wall. Like say you can attack directly with your sprites. Basically, you put a little dot on your opponent, and then you ram all your sprites into them. And when your monsters die, it will basically cause life damage. It will cause burn damage enough to defeat your opponent. And with the Gamma Burst active, and you have all these guys with like 2500, you know, all these like heightened attack values, it's very easy to bring your opponent down to 0 life points. Typhoon is another powerful staple that we like in our deck. It allows us to basically negate any special effects that are happening on the field of monsters that are 3000 or above. We can special summon it as a sort of win more option. So basically we try to summon all of our stuff, and then finally we use this to sort of cap it all off. You can use this to like if you detach a material from this, we can like use this as a removal. It's a great board breaker for going second. It's just another one of these powerful cards that goes well with our deck because we have so much XYZ support. The next card we like in our decks is IP Masquerena. This is a very powerful staple that you guys should all be pulling for or crafting as soon as possible. It's a very common staple. This allows us to basically link summon on our opponent's turn. It's one of our popular end board pieces. We use this mainly to summon SP Little Knight, another very commonly very powerful card that you all at least want one of. When this is summoned, we can basically banish one of our opponent's monsters. Then, as soon as one of our opponent's monsters activates the effect, we can remove basically 2 monsters on the field from play, including itself or 2 of our opponent's monsters until the end phase. This is a great board breaker that allows us to sort of play more freely, as well as sort of breaks down our opponent's end boards. Spright Elf is one of the premium cards of Spright. This card allows us to do a lot of cool things. Basically, during the main phase, either yours or the opponent's, allows you to basically revive a monster from your graveyard, either or, you or your opponent. And so this basically allows you to potentially get +2 onto the field. Monsters that you can summon with this are Hyperia, that allows you to draw 1. You can use this to eternally float Spright Carrot, or you can use it to float Spright Red. You can float it to float IP Masquerena. You can use it to float Spright Sprint, which we'll be going back into. There's lots of things that this allows you to basically do in terms of advantage, and it's one of our very priority end board pieces, as it allows us to set up a diverse array of negates. When we're going into our next card, let's go into Spright Sprint. So this is the card that we like to sort of link summon first if we can, if we're not trying to play around draw. This allows us to send one of our level 2 monsters from your deck to your graveyard. I mentioned earlier, Nimble Angler or Ronin Toad. When it's on the field, which we don't really want it on the field too much because of its link arrows, but link arrows kind of suck. If a monster is a special summon to the opponent's side of the field, and you can basically detach one of your materials from your XYZs and then return it to the hand. It's a nice little removal or interrupt, if you know what I mean. But we usually like to use this as our XYZ material for Gigantic Sprite, so we can get that double attack bonus. So yeah, it's very essential that we have at least one copy of this in our team. I've already went over SP Little Knight, but we're going to go on to our Link boss monsters after this. Avramax is a great monster for one of your extra deck slots. It's not essential, I will say that. While this is link summoned on your field, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, so it's very hard to remove. Also, monsters cannot target other monsters for attacks except this one. So this allows you to protect your weaker sprites, which usually have a low attack. Once per battle, you can add your opponent's attack value to you. So he will always be 3000 in one battle against your opponent. This is really good for defeating Dragoon, which is quite popular now these days. But yeah, this is a very powerful boss monster, and you can use Spright Elf and IP Masquerena to make him, or SP Little Knight or something like that. Another one is Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Another one that's not essential, but a very good one. You can use one of your opponent's monsters to link summon this. So it sort of works like an Nibiru. You negate all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This link monster cannot be affected by effects of like cards. It's a big beast deck. Once your opponent tries to special summon a monster from the graveyard, you can negate it. So this is a very big oppressive sort of floodgate that you can slam down onto your field, and it sort of works as a board breaker. And remember, you can use IFP Masquerena to use this on your opponent's turn. So this is my Sprite deck. I'm going to show you guys some combos as well as some of my replays to show you guys how this deck plays out. And obviously, I suggest trying out this tutorial and then watching these replays, and then let me know down in the comments if this has helped you. Another great card is Foolish Burial. You can use this obviously to chuck Nimble Angler away so you can get your beavers out. Definitely a great recommendation for a staple if you have it. Anyway, I hope this guide's been helpful. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you guys are still curious about. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to know. I've left in the description 2 videos that I used footage from. Those are also guides for Sprite. I heavily suggest using the tutorial. And, it is sort of hard to find like pure Sprite builds. Guides out there. Usually they sort of incorporate some type of other engine. So don't feel bad, like maybe like trying some other engines in with Sprite. But I hope this guide's been helpful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.